Hi guys, I wanted to do a quick screencastify to talk to you about your research paper. I know that I didn't get to this with every group this week, and so I want to make sure that you understand what it is you're supposed to be doing for your research paper. First of all, you should only be researching one topic. I don't want to have a paper that lists all of the challenges of living on Mars. You are to choose one of those challenges and research that topic. To help you, in your Writing Google Classroom, there is an assignment called Note-Taking and Organizing for Research Paper. Click on that. Each of you has your own copy of this document. Okay, so you can look at it, click on it, and fill it out if you need to. So I am just going to choose Dr. Chu's document here. When it opens, you will see that there are several sections to this. Now I know some of you have not started researching your paper yet, and that's fine. You do not have to have researched your paper yet. In fact, this document will help you do that. On this document, you need to put your name first, and it says at the top, as we researched Mars, we encountered many obstacles. Which obstacle or problem was the most challenging? You're going to put the obstacle that you chose here on this line. I am researching and learning about. I'm going to type in here, food on Mars. Now you might have chosen the atmosphere, or the temperature, or how to build a structure, or boredom, something like that. But I'm going to use the one that says food. Now down here in this section that says describe the challenges you might face if you tried to live on the planet Mars. This section we already did. This was the brainstorming session that we did together in our small groups. You should have all received a slide that had many of the challenges on it that you came up with your group. If you did not attend the group session where we did this, you were on your own because we completed this all together. It's very important that you attend the group sessions for these types of things. The next section of this document is going to help you write your paper. I'm going to skip over that for right now because we need to do the research first. So we're going to go to the last page. If you have not started your research yet, this is the document that you are going to use to do that. This is notes for paragraph 1, notes for paragraph 2, and notes for paragraph 3. The notes for paragraph 1. We're going to write our notes on this side and put our sources on this side. So for example, if I was using a News ELA document to write about food on Mars, in my sources, I would type News ELA. That's the website I got it from. The document is going to be called the name of the article is What Will Humans Eat on Mars? All right. The author of this document was the Smithsonian. And this article was published on March 10th, 2020. Now, over here, I'm going to put some of the information I learned from that article. For example, there is a scientist named Kevin Conner who is researching what types of food to eat on Mars. People will eat on Mars. All right. Now from that same article, I might gather some more information. So on the next line, I might write that Mr. Carpenter or Mr. Conner is recommending that people eat plants, bugs, and cellular agriculture. Now, we might not know what cellular agriculture is, but we might need to explain that. So also in this area where I'm writing those notes, I'm going to talk about what is cellular agriculture. Cellular agriculture is removing cells from an animal and creating another structure from them. All right, now do I have to put, this is the same article as the one above it, as the piece of information above it. So I don't need to put any more information in the sources page because this is from the same article. However, I might now go to another article. Maybe it's still on Newsela. The name of this article is called Will Potatoes Grow on Mars? Okay, again, this article is written by Sarah Smith, and it was written on 3/18/2020. And over here, I'm going to put my information from this article. So for example, one piece of information in this article is researchers are trying to find types of potatoes that are best suited to growing on Mars. Okay, that is one piece of information that I got from this article. Okay, it's still talking about the types of food that people will eat on Mars, so it can go in this section. Okay, that's my information for paragraph 1. Now, if I'm going down to paragraph 2, and I might talk about how they're going to prepare the soil. So for this article, for this website or this source, I have another Newsela article. This one is called How Will People Farm on Mars? Okay, it's written by Sam Spalding, and it was written in February 2020. In this one, they're talking about scientists have discovered a material called aerogel. That will help them transform the soil on Mars for growing. Okay. All right, so that's one piece of information for that paragraph. So you understand how you are taking notes on one side, filling in the source page on the other. Once I have all of my information, I can go back up to the top and begin writing my paper. The nice thing about this is everything you have for your first text paragraph is already together for you on your page that you took your notes on. Everything is grouped together by one subject area. Now you'll notice in our form here that we have for helping you to write your paragraphs that there is an introduction paragraph. And if you remember when we wrote our last research paper, this says start off with a fact. Maybe you want to ask a question. Remember, this is factual and you are only stating your facts and not your opinion. The second paragraph is going to start with your basic research information. You'll notice that in this paper, there are headings. Each paragraph needs to have its own heading, just like a Newsela article had the heading. and then it has the paragraph that talks about it. So you'll notice that each paragraph has a heading that tells us what the main idea of that paragraph is. When you've done all of your text paragraphs, you'll come down here and write your closing paragraph. Now there's another important piece of information that talks about what you need in your paper that is included in your research paper graphic organizer. These things are what you must have in your report. You must have a cover, title, and author. That has already been done for you on the draft that I created for you in your Writing Google Classroom. You must also have bold-faced or highlighted words, headings for your paragraphs, and you'll notice that you need to have photographs that help you to back up the information that you're giving us in the paragraphs that you've written. In addition to these up here, you need to select 2 of these other features to include in your paper. Either a chart or a table, a graph, a photograph with a caption, a diagram, an illustration, or a glossary. Remember, you've already got bold and highlighted words here. A glossary would be an easy thing for you to add at the end. So make sure that you're including all of these up here and at least 2 of these options down below. Now I've gone through this whole organizer and I filled the whole thing out. Now I'm ready to start writing my paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom. I'm going to go back into the main section of it, and I'm going to click on the assignment called Research Paper Draft. This assignment has created a document for you to put your research paper on. Okay, so we're going to click on someone's document, and again, we'll choose Dr. Choose. As soon as it opens, you will see that everybody's document is the same. There's a place to put your name. My name needs to stay in there because I am your language arts teacher. The date that it's due, and for this date, it is April 17th, 2020. Oops, 2020, that's the day it's due. And then you will add the title of your document, whatever you are titling your paper. This part is your cover, and it covers, it checks off the first 3 things that are on the list of things you must have in your document. So in this document that tells you what you must have in your research paper, that is the cover, the title, the author. Here we have that. Here's the title. You are the author. This whole section at the top is your cover. Those things are done for you. Once you've got that completed, you can go ahead and if you've written your notes on these sections over here, if you've written your paragraphs out, you can just copy and paste them over onto your research paper. Just copy paste whatever you've written over here onto your research paper. All right, make sure that you have included an introduction paragraph that tells us what the paper is going to be about and a conclusion paragraph. Oops. That sums up everything you've talked about in your paper. In this paragraph, you're mentioning one key point from each paragraph above. So you're summarizing everything you've written. Right? Hopefully this answers some of your questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email. If we need to, we can have a video call or however else I can help you with this. Okay, good luck with this, you guys. Let me know if you have any other questions.